Today's video is all about newborn must-haves. So I now have a 1-month-old, which is really hard to believe that Isaiah is already 1 month old, but I wanted to go through and give you a list of the things that we use every single day. So if I don't use it every single day, it is not on this list. And then at the end, I'm gonna do like a nice to have list of things that I use maybe weekly, but not every single day. Like, my life does not depend on it. So that is what this list is. It's gonna be all the newborn things that you have to have that will set you up for success in that newborn stage that is crazy and wild. So let's get into it. The first must-have is absolutely this Fisher-Price Snug Puppy swing. He will take his afternoon nap from like 12:30 to 3:30, which is unreal. It gives me enough time to actually get a project done. We had the Mamaroo and he would just scream bloody murder every time we put him in it, so he would not last more than a couple minutes before starting to cry. And in this swing, he loves it. This is top of my list. #1 must-have is the Fisher-Price swing. The next must-have is definitely our Hatch sound machine. So sound machines are just clutch in general, but this one specifically because it actually connects to an app on your phone, so you can control the noise level or the brightness, because it also has like a night light connected to it, so you can change different colors. I just use the white light and then white noise as well, and it's just really helpful when I go in there for night feedings and I want to just turn the brightness up, and then when I leave I turn it down and it's pitch black. Sound machine is clutch in general, but specifically we have the Hatch Rest Plus and we both love it. But this takes me to my next newborn essential, which is a portable white noise machine. So I'll link the one we have down below. I can't remember the name of it, but it's been very, very helpful. Because we can bring it in the car and I put it in his car seat, or when I take him on walks in the stroller, I just pop it in there and it helps him fall asleep. We also pop it in his swing. I put that I think in my hospital bag must-haves as well, and it's great if you haven't had your baby yet to bring it to the hospital, because they just love white noise. It reminds them of being in your tummy because it just sounds like all the blood that's rushing through your placenta. So that's why they love it. It's just very familiar to them. So definitely a portable sound machine. My next must-have is Mylicon gas drops. I'm so thankful my neighbor told me about these, so shout out to Lauren for this tip. Isaiah is super gassy. I just have a very heavy letdown when I'm breastfeeding, and I feel like he starts gulping and gulping and gulping, and I have to pull off, and it's a big process. But other than that, I don't know why he has so much gas. Like, that's the one thing I know of, but these drops have been amazing. You can use them as much as you want, which is really like good peace of mind. So if you wanted to use them after every feeding, we were using gripe water, and I just have found that this Mylicon works a lot better than gripe water. Mylicon for gas is very necessary. My next must-have, and this is just if you are going to be introducing bottles when they're still a newborn, but I use the Komotomo bottles, and I talked about this in my day in the life with a newborn, but Michael's been doing 1 bottle feeding because I am breastfeeding, but I have this thing called the LV, and it just collects the milk that leaks on the other side, and I'll put that in the bottle and he'll feed that at like 12 or 1 in the morning. And these Komotomo bottles are awesome. I think a lot of the fear around introducing a bottle is that they'll prefer that over the mom. At least that was my fear, but because it's like a slow drip nipple, he actually like gets his food a lot faster for me than he does from this bottle. So we've had no problems with it. My next recommendation is going to be the Solly baby wrap. It's just a way to wear your baby, and I don't actually use this every single day, so I debated putting this on the must-have or the nice-to-have list, but I definitely think you want to have some sort of baby carrier. We have the Ergo baby as well. I think that's more for Michael. It's like a lot more heavy duty. I think whenever we start going like hiking and traveling and stuff, we'll put him in that more. But for now, I just love having the Solly baby wrap because it's so soft and comfy. He really seems to like it, so it's a great way to be able to multitask and get like things done around the house. My next must-have are the Halo swaddles. I've gone back and forth on whether this is my favorite one or not, because we also have some copper pearl ones that are really soft and great, but Isaiah is so strong. I feel like people probably say that about their kids all the time, but he's like freakishly strong. We have a picture of him laying on my chest and he's already holding his head up just looking at me. So he breaks out of swaddles like crazy, but the Halo ones are Velcro, and I have found there's like a little gap on the side, and if I tuck the one This is gonna be really confusing if you don't have one or haven't seen how they're laid out, but basically you can like tuck it through an opening and just pull it really tight and Velcro him down. And I have found that to work the best. It's the most convenient. So we have 3 of those right now in the newborn size. And swaddles are a must-have for sure. My next must-have, speaking of copper pearl, are going to be the copper pearl bandana bibs. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen Isaiah wearing these literally constantly because I just keep him in these bandanas all day. He does spit up quite a bit, and so they're just great to have, but I feel like they're big enough and super absorbent where they are very, very helpful for spit up. And so I pretty much have him wearing one 24/7. And while we're talking about spit up, I definitely still recommend the bean-shaped burp cloths that I have. I'll have to link them below because I don't remember the specific brand. I think we just got them off Amazon, so I'm gonna order some more of those, but I did go to Target the other day and it was my first time going on a solo trip, which is so weird because it's been almost 5 weeks since I left our house really, besides a pediatrician appointment. So I picked up some more big bean-shaped burp cloths, but basically they just like, I don't really use them over my shoulder, to be honest. I'm more, when I'm burping him, I sit him up on my lap and I'll just hold his neck up and also put the burp cloth so it's almost like flowing like a river. So when he spits up, it just always catches it, and then I just use it to clean him off. So I hope that's not confusing. I don't really know how to do a visual otherwise, but they're just really big and absorbent and we love them. So I definitely recommend the bean-shaped burp cloths. Next thing I recommend is, if your baby will take them, a pacifier. I've got some questions about when we introduced it. I think it was like 2.5 weeks into having Isaiah when we introduced the pacifier. So we have like 5 of those that we use all the time. I take them with me to the stroller. I keep one in the car. I just like to have them around the house. But there has been like no nipple confusion. I think that's why a lot of people are scared to introduce pacifier. I know Michael's super thankful for them because he's always using them when I'm like in the shower or something and it's time for feeding and Isaiah's getting super fussy. Just pop the passy in and it always helps. Or we'll pop a passy in and actually kind of like put the bandana bib over to like prop it up in the swing, and that definitely helps him fall asleep, and then it'll eventually just fall out. Another must-have is going to be the Frida Baby snot sucker. And I don't know, I guess necessarily if we use this every single day, but anytime he has like boogers or he's having a hard time breathing, then Michael does it. But basically you just stick it up their nose and there is a filter on it, so when you suck through basically like a straw, it like pulls the boogers out, but it's definitely blocked off, so you don't have to worry about it. I've never done it just because it kind of weirds me out, so it's like Michael's thing, but I think it's definitely a must-have because it's so tough when they have their tiny little nostrils to get any of the boogers out. To go along with that, from Frida Baby, we also got the Windies, which we don't use every single day. I feel like I'm contradicting myself a lot because I said these were like the must-haves that I use every day, but you just stick it up their butt and it helps the gas come out, and sometimes some other things come out. We were using them quite a bit before we started using the Milacon, and now we definitely don't have to use them as much. And I think just as they get older and their digestive system improves, they can pass gas a lot easier, but I think the Windies were really helpful, and definitely the snot sucker. Another newborn must-have is going to be the Tubby Todd all over ointment and the Tubby Todd hair wash, body wash. So he hasn't had any reactions to it, and that's why I'm recommending them, because it's like the first thing that we tried to use. We got it as a gift from Michael's sister. Thank you, Becca. And it's just worked really, really well. So I know it's like all natural, really great ingredient. Michael's in charge of bath time, so he'll do bath and bottle around 7 p.m. most nights. We don't use the soap every day. Sometimes it's just like a water bath, but it's just part of establishing that nighttime routine. But definitely recommend Tubby Todd. Another newborn must-have that is a little bit more obvious is going to be a monitor, but specifically a monitor without Wi-Fi. I've mentioned this in several videos, but it's just so important to get one without Wi-Fi because there are people that will try to hack into your monitor, which is really creepy, and so we love the one that we have. I'll have to link it below because I can't remember the exact name. I think it's like Optics DX800, like has a bunch of numbers and stuff to it, but you don't have to specifically get the one that we have. I would just recommend for sure when you get a monitor, to make sure it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Another newborn must-have is the Halo Bassinet. So we have the Halo Bassinet. I can't talk to any other ones, but he really likes it. I am a part of a lot of mom groups, and I hear their struggles of their babies not sleeping in the bassinet, just wanting to be held, or will only sleep in the swing, their car seat, etc. We've not had any issues. He sleeps in his bassinet for like 70% of his naps. He does one nap in the swing and then one nap in the stroller when I walk him, but other than that, he's always sleeping in his bassinet, and it's just very sturdy, high quality. Really like it. It's very large. Sometimes he does end up on the other corner and he scoots, but I've learned a tip, which is if you make their feet touch the bottom of their bassinet, for some reason, I guess that makes them feel more snug and they don't move. So ever since I've been doing that, he's been staying put. So that is a little pro tip. My next must-have is our stroller. The one that we have is the Up-A-Baby, and we have it with the Mezza car seat. So I definitely recommend those two things because so far I've had no issues, completely love it. There's a huge basket at the bottom. I take him on walks every single day. It's like our 10 o'clock thing, gets me out of the house. He falls asleep in it every single time, so it's great for him to be able to get a nap, me to get fresh air, and I can get out and like call someone, listen to music, listen to a podcast. So stroller's essential. It's kind of an obvious one, but I just wanted to share because I know the Up-A-Baby is really expensive and you're probably wondering if it lives up to the hype, but personally I think it does. I just love it. I love everything about it. I have had zero complaints, and then yeah, we got the Mezza car seat to go with it, which has been great. So two really high quality products that I definitely recommend. To go along with the stroller, I have two of these things called boppies. Which is not to be confused with the breastfeeding pillow, but a boppy, it's like a 4-in-1 where it's a car seat cover, or it can be used when you go to the grocery store to set them in there. It can go over you to breastfeed, but I've just loved it to put over his car seat when we go for walks because sometimes it's super sunny, and I'll just pop the noise machine in there, cover him with the boppy, and then he'll just get lulled to sleep by the rocking of the stroller. I think they're like 20 bucks. Like, they're very inexpensive and super versatile, so awesome to have. And now for my nice to have list. These two things I use weekly, but I'm not gonna say that you absolutely need them, and that is going to be the Baby Bjorn Bouncer and the Snuggle Me Organic. Just because with the Snuggle Me, it's not sleep safe, so part of me just gets really nervous ever putting him in there. You always have to monitor them, and our house has a ton of natural light, so whenever I want him to take a nap, it's usually in his room, and I have blackout curtains, which actually that should be a must-have. Blackout curtains are certainly a must-have because you want their room to be pitch black. Like, Isaiah will not sleep unless it's super dark, unless he's in a swing downstairs. But other than that, like if I were to bring the Snuggle Me downstairs and it's super light out, he just doesn't sleep in it as well as he does his bassinet. So I'm not gonna say it's a must-have. It's definitely nice to have because if we're ever going to Michael's parents or my parents, or just wanna have somewhere to like pop it on the bed while I'm getting ready, I'll definitely use it, and I use it weekly, but I'm not gonna say that it's a must-have, but it is very nice to have. And the same with the Baby Bjorn Bouncer. I think just because you have to bounce it yourself is why I don't use it as much as I thought I would. You have to like use your foot or hand and just like sit there with him in the bouncer, which I mean, I'm monitoring him 24/7 anyways, but I will say that it's nice that the swing just does its own thing. And sometimes when he's in the swing, I'll actually put his monitor and just go upstairs in my office and work and watch him in the swing through the monitor, which obviously with the Baby Bjorn, I can't do that because it won't bounce unless I am there to bounce it. So I really like it. He really likes it. Also, it's great because you can travel with it. So like, definitely way more portable than the swing. I can't imagine traveling with the swing because it's huge, but I would say it's not a must-have, but definitely a nice to have. So those are my newborn must-haves and some nice to haves, and I hope you found this video helpful. And if you are a new mom, congratulations, or if you're a mom to be, also congratulations. It's very exciting, and we are loving spending this time with Isaiah in the newborn stage, as chaotic as it is. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you never miss another video. And until next time, I will see you next time.